I need to turn my chair more this way. I got the other. Okay. What's going on, world? It's your boy at Big Game James _36. And this is Big Games BS, presented to you by the media group, brought to you by Alpha Male Jacks. Go to alphamalejacks.com. It is the go-to men testosterone clinic. You want to know why I feel comfortable wearing Hoochie Daddy shorts? It's because of Alpha Male Jacks. Matter of fact, my homegirl, Christina's coming over today. She's we're gonna do some shorts or whatever, like reels, whatever they call them on the different things. But basically, if you're not feeling good, you're not feeling vibrant, you need to get to the best you. You need to go to Alpha Male Jacks, let them do blood panels, check your testosterone levels, your cortisol, cholesterol, all that other good stuff, whatever the different fancy things. They can check markers and indicators to determine, hey, maybe you're about to croak over. Maybe you need to make some lifestyle changes. Or maybe you just don't have the energy. They got the B12, they got testosterone replacement therapy. They've got all kinds of different things to help make you the best you possible. One of the things that I've been doing, I've been going crazy, but I know if I didn't go check my levels and I wasn't getting monitored by Christina and Doc Holdhouse, I would not be able to be doing some of the silly shit that I'd be doing at practice. I've been sprinting to drills and just running everywhere, telling my running backs what my position coach used to tell us. If I beat you, you got up downs. So these little bastards is running real fucking fast. And then the competitive part of me wants to beat them, but it's a reason why we're called running blacks, because these blacks can run and they're really, really good. So, but that's what you want to do. If you want to be able to get that vitality, that vigor, you need to go check them out. You don't have to live in the city of Jacksonville. You can literally go get your blood drawn somewhere else. We can get the panels done. Whatever you need to go check them out. Especially if you're going to start. It's tailgate season coming up now. Tailgate season's coming up. A lot of you guys are single or you're singled or you're single adjacent, meaning you're in a relationship, but you're also not in a relationship. And you got to have the energy, man. I'm telling you, if you're out here chasing these harlots or these young guys, if you're a lady, because we have a female version of it too. Matter of fact, actually, this is basically what I'd be doing in practice. Can you show this, Mom? This is what Alpha Male Jacks can get to you. Now, technically, you're not Spice Adams or me, but sometimes you just need to be able to, you got to flex on them. You got to show them that you got it. Now, I do running backs. This is D-line drills, but it's something like I'll explain the drills that I do with my guys especially when they piss me off.
You want me to demonstrate on you?
Yeah, let's
all right, so you hold the ball, right? See the ball snap. Boom, I come through here, rip. And then I make the sack.
Just like that.
That's NFL for us right there.
Just like
what
that.
you felt right there,
Yeah.
that's just like warm-up, you know? So I get in my stance.
Hold on, wait.
Boom, and come through here, right, rip.
Okay,
Like that.
Cool. Here.
Something like that.
Yeah, got you.
Got
it. Cool. Got it.
What's funny,
man,
he still got it from when he was in the league.
that our coaches from our generation legitimately dressed like that. Like they used to, all right, so we know about Nike shorts, but where are my old heads who know about bike shorts, bikey shorts? That's what we used to call them. Literally, it was B-I-K-E, and they were khaki shorts, and for whatever reason, like how women wear their jeans today, like all the way up to the hips, like their real hips. Like Americans, we wear our clothes on our waist. We don't don't pull your pants up to your hips. You pull your pants up to your waist, not to your hips. We wear our shit kind of low or whatever. My tailor can correct me. But they wore them bitches all the way right up under their man titties. And they always had their shirts tucked in. And they always wore the tube socks up and some white in the white shoes. But like that's why it's funny because Spice Adams is dressing like how all coaches used to coach back in the day. But that's what I'll do. We have this drill, and I want to make sure I'm prefacing this. I do not hit children unless I need to. But I don't hit children. But running backs don't fumble, and there's a drill. There's a drill we do. It's called the punch drill. So they put one hand on the ground. There's bags. They chop their feet over the bag, and I either try to punch the ball out or I try to strip the ball out. And you got and like one of the kids one time, they got under my skin. So I was like, we're going to do this punch drill. And I'm over there just, I got like 5 fumbles that day because I know how to punch. I know how to punch the ball to get it up out of you. and then they had to do up downs when they got done. So, but anyways, that's how it goes. But sometimes you gotta let them young bucks know because they in their prime. They feel like they're in their prime and they be thinking that they can do whatever. I had to tell them like I would drop your ass on your fucking neck, boy. There's a reason why I am who I is, but or who I was, not is anymore. But let's talk about inside Goodfellas Lounge, where we bring you this show. Hopefully, we're gonna bring some more. John Stockton show. You had the 1980s basketball show. It was old NBA basketball was like watching softcore porn. Like, no wonder women watch that shit. The motherfuckers was dribbling basketball like they had a pocket full of rolled quarters in it. It's just as crazy. And there ain't no way somebody in the 80s dunking on me, man, because your nuts literally right in their face, man. Like now with the baggy shorts, there's some cloth between it. But back then it was just boom right there. But yeah. Inside of Goodfellas. Tonight we got a live band. We got go. Okay. Oh shit. Other way. There we go. All right. Inside of Goodfellas Lounge tonight, we got live music on Friday, Saturday night. My man Cheese will be out here selling barbecue. That's so good to make you want to slap your mama. And that's all. I got a couple meetings today. Hopefully, we'll have some more sponsors next week. We shall see. There's tomorrow, last book bag drop. I'm so happy this shit is over, man. I love giving. I'm tired. I am tired. Mouse, can you come take pictures tomorrow? I just thought about that. It's going from like 9 to 12. You don't have to be there the whole time. Okay. But anyways, we're doing this. If you can go click on that video. I did news for Jax. Well, yesterday I recorded it. It aired this morning at 5 a.m. Yeah, 5 a.m. and 6 a.m. And I'm just not waking up that early. The guy did a good job. I like him. I appreciate it. I'm not going to critique the video. But I hate when they have to do like the. Yeah. Okay. So, but I also realized that I put a picture of me and him up. It's a lot of really small people in this planet. I don't think I'm that big. That motherfucker's just that small. But he was a great dude. Brother came on there and did the interview. And this is basically the Jacksonville press that we're getting here on News for Jax. I think you got to unmute it.
Talents to the NFL. So tomorrow he is hosting an annual school supply giveaway and a football camp. News for Jax reporter Aaron Farrar caught up with Coleman to talk about his drive to help.
Bigger and better. That's James Coleman's way of thinking to uplift the Jacksonville community with his 4th giveaway weekend.
If there's a need, again, all that does is present an opportunity for me to be able to fulfill that need. Not just me, but the people who are involved with it. And I'm just grateful.
Coleman is a former Florida State football standout who is handing out free backpacks, school supplies, and food with farm share to students this weekend, getting ready for another school year. Coleman expects to donate at least 2,000 backpacks and enough groceries to last a week for families. He will follow that up on Sunday afternoon with a football camp for students of all ages at University Christian School from 2 o'clock to 5 o'clock.
It just makes me realize that I'm just doing my small part to continue to change the world. Everybody talks about changing the world. Everybody talks about how bad things are, but people are not getting active.
Coleman lives in Jacksonville now. He's from Tallahassee. Coleman played fullback at Florida State, winning 3 ACC championships as a starter and scoring 10 touchdowns. Coleman went on to spend 1 season in the NFL in 2006 with the New Orleans Saints. He says he hopes these giveaways are not only impactful, but inspiring for the next generation.
Go somewhere where people don't look like you. Go somewhere where you're not used to going and show them that positiveness. Show them that you're giving. And what will happen is I may find the next James Coleman that will go on to play at Florida State, play in the NFL. And the next thing you know, he's doing community givebacks or the female version. And that's really what we need to be doing.
Sorry, showing communities
I know
people care
about that fucking word for some reason. I can't call women, you can't call females in this generation. I don't know. Anyways, But that was it. That was cool. I got to do I think I'm doing radio with Brent Martineau. Like one of the craziest things is like Jacksonville, aka Murder Cap, is what they used to call it when I was coming up. You know, you can post that right there so they can see the flyer. And if they want to donate. I don't really care anymore. I'm so tired of this goddamn thing. I'm just ready to get it over with. You go to jamescolemangivesback.com or send it to one of your friends, jamescolemangivesback.com. Register for a book bag, register for the football camp. Shout out, like we are giving my man Bodie. If you followed me long enough, you would know who Bodie is. You know who Charles, Mason, Max. You also know who Man is, but thankfully Man Man's not here anymore. Well, he's with us on the earth. He's just not with me anymore. But Bodie, Charles, and Max and Mason have played flag football with Trey every stop. Max, Mason, and Charles are now on Trey's tackle football team. Bodie plays baseball, but Bodie's family owns I can't even think of the name of the company no more. They make the little bowls with the chicken and rice. No. That's an amazing place. I would be there every day if they owned it. Oh man, it's gonna come to me. No, it's the grill. It's like they grill the chicken thighs up. They put it on rice and they give you the little cabbage. Like, anyways, they own a place, and it's like they own all of them, and they're gonna give each kid at the football camp is going to get a small bowl voucher that they can go to one of the restaurants and get. And all my volunteers, which I think I'm going to basically have the Mandarin football team run my football camp. So, like, what's cool about that is if the people who are committed come, you have probably a Division I running back, Division I quarterback, Division I offensive lineman, Division I defensive lineman, Division I wide receiver. We will have some top guys at each different level that'll be working with your kid. So we'll get a chance to see what we want to see in the community. But anyways, register for that. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Also, while you're doing that, when you're in the spirit of that, we're 750 people away from getting the 3K, man. Like, I don't know what I need to do to get y'all to get the 3K. Once we get the 3K, we give away $300. Also, when we get the 3K, I will give away 2 tickets to the LSU Florida State game in Orlando. We will be, again, 2 tickets, really, really good seats so that you can go see the game. We will do a special with Power Hour, the guy he covers LSU. I will be doing a special FSU LSU tailgate show where we will be discussing and breaking down the game. I will be getting insight on LSU so that everybody can be intelligent about the game. And again, during that, we will give away 2 tickets if we get to over 3,000 followers. The goal is to get to 100 members. Memberships range from $3.99 all the way up to $100. What I'm going to do for members, and I don't care if it's 10 members, I don't care if it's 100 members, but the reason why you want to at least get to that $3.99 level, we will be doing giveaways for tickets to FSU games, tickets to Jaguar games, tickets to a lot of different things. Once the season starts, we will be doing all kinds of giveaways, just randomly once a month and once we hit milestones. So, like, once we get to 25 members, we'll give away. Once we get to 50, 75, 100. So if you really want to just take that next step up, go ahead and pay the $3.99. It's not really that. It's not that much. You'll enjoy it. You'll get something out of it. And as we continue to reach, if we get to 5,000 members somehow before the season starts, I will give away 4 total tickets to the FSU LSU game in Orlando. We are still selling tickets to the tailgate. Even if you want to just go to the tailgate, you want to be in the atmosphere, that will be a dope ass atmosphere to be a part of. We have youth tickets now available on the site. So we will make sure that the link is in the description. Miles, if you go to buy tickets real quick, just the red thing. Yeah. And then you click on that. There's 2 drop-down options. There's general admission. There's youth tickets. Youth tickets are $30. General admission tickets are $60. Youth tickets will get they'll get like a white wristband. The general admission wristband will be bright colored. So you'll be able to go to different tailgate, different lots, eat different foods. We'll be announcing what's going to be there, who's going to be there here within the coming weeks. The prices are going up in 2 weeks. So it's $60 now. The price will go up, and I don't want to hear shit about it. We're trying to get to 1,000 people. Right now, I think we're about 220, if I remember correctly, 220 sold. So it'll keep pushing, it'll keep pressing. We want to make this the largest tailgate that we've had. So there's that. It's right there, right downtown. And if you purchase tickets, we will give you the access code so that you can go purchase parking. But in 2 weeks, we will open up parking to Gym Pop, and the price will go up on that as well. So just want to let everybody know that. Entering football season, there's something that I saw that was actually, before we even get to that, if you go like to I used to do questions and I like doing that, but I guess my question today is going to come from KLV 1063, and what he said was, what sports code do you live by? But before I get into that, I saw this and it's delicious. That's what I saw. McDonald's keeps trying to bring back the McRib. I don't know who wants the McRib. I don't know why they keep bringing back the McRib, but just for one of my birthdays or Christmas or something, this is what McDonald's needs to bring back: the steak, egg, and cheese bagel. I don't know who told them to take this shit away. This thing was delicious. Like the minute they put it on, it's like they even had a steak, egg, and cheese biscuit, which I never really got, but I'm sure the biscuit sopped up some of the grease from it. But this right here, hangover cure, when I was in college, I would kill to get one of these and with a slice of tomato on the top of it. Like, anybody who works for McDonald's, please encourage them to do the right thing and bring it back. It is like not healthy at all, but it is so good. I don't even know. Like, I already know McDonald's burgers are probably the lowest grade of ground beef that you can get. That was a breakfast sandwich, man. Nah, man. Like, people starting their day with the steak, egg, and cheese bagel, man. Like, it was that. Like, it's crazy how many calories I burned. Like, I can't believe life, dog. Like, shoot, what was it? I would eat 2 of those, a large orange juice, and like 2 hash browns. Like, when I was in college, I burned. When they did the thing, I was burning like 7,000 to 8,000 calories a day. I could eat whatever the fuck I wanted to eat. Like, I would go to Wendy's and say, give me 10 JBCBs. And that's what we call the 10 junior bacon cheeseburgers. And junior bacon cheeseburgers they're smaller now. You can't convince me. Them bitches the same size as Crystal Burgers now. But when I was coming up, they felt like that was a solid burger, man. And it was 99 cents. I was broke, but I was like, I know I can get 10 of these bitches and I'm going to be satisfied. But what's Tanya? I used to. Oh, you just clicked on it. Oh, the Tanya one. I used to get. Oh, listen, man. I believe you. You 6. You talking about you 5'11", 225 right now? I believe it. I believe it. I mean, I don't mean that in the bad. That's like I said. Like I told you, I told people last show, like that ain't real dudes bench pressing that or squatting. But whatever. What's Virgil say? You say I want to put the. Oh, okay. He's talking about you might want to put the address because there's an East and West Church Street. It's 1331 Church Street though. Like if you actually go buy the ticket, we have an address like right on it. So 1331 Church Street literally brings you right to the heart in the center of it. So like we in that bitch, yeah. So we not Church Street like downtown Church Street. We're Church Street by the hood. Not because the tailgate's in the hood. The fucking stadium's in the hood. That's why it's in the hood. But what sport code do you live by? Like one of mine is this. If I beat you, you don't get to say I suck until 365 days until you beat me. That's fair, right? So like University of Miami can't say Florida State sucks because you haven't beat them in numerous days. Like numerous years now. Like I applied it to myself. I would let Miami fans get their rocks off. I critique other games, but I'm like, yo, I can't say you're not any good because I couldn't beat you. University of Florida, same way. It sucks, but it's a code. Man got to have a code. Those are the rules. And without rules, we'd be no different than the animals. which I guess technically when you have an ibis as your mascot and when you have a gator as your mascot, technically I guess you are animals. But like right now, it's just very weird, especially when I hear like Miami fans bring up Jacksonville State loss, which sucks. Worst loss in program history, right? They'll always bring that up, and I'm like, do you know what happened a few weeks later? Well, what happened? We beat y'all. We lost to Jacksonville State, and yes, that sucks. But you can't say we suck because we lost to Jacksonville State because we turned around and whipped your ass. Like, it doesn't – none of that matches up, Broham. But, like, you know, same thing with Florida. Florida's just, you know, right now, when I lose to Florida, I shut the fuck up. Florida and Miami fans just got to always keep yapping. Especially the guy with the esophagus. Like, they got one of their main – He's not going to jam me on YouTube if I talk about – because I'm not talking – he's really good. He's a good guy, but he got one of them – have you seen? I sent you the IG with the little kid, the lady. See, I smoke, and this is what's happening when I get that. And then they show like everybody's like, okay, that's sad, but then they show the little kid, and the little kid was like, the little kid was just mocking. Kids are terrible. They're honest though. But what sports code do you live by? If you guys can post that in there. Like, again, I'm going to harp on the one. If you suck, you don't get to say that we suck. And one of the reasons why this is very near, dear, and true to my heart right now is because on Tuesday, was it Tuesday? No, what's today's Wednesday? It was Wednesday. No, it was Tuesday. Florida State dropped their nuts. And we had the board of trustees meeting. We had all this different stuff. And we said, we fucking getting out of here. Fuck these people. To quote Kanye and Go Hard, I'm going to tell you like George Bush told me, fuck y'all N-words, I'm out of here. That's what we basically told the ACC. Then people have been talking in the ACC. Like, what's wild is it's the people who got the gall and the nuts and the cojones to talk about, bitch, Wake Forest? Duke? I know we lost to Wake Forest. I'll give you that. But, like, ain't nobody come to see fucking Wake Forest. Ain't nobody come to see. Duke's athletic director is saying, is spouting off, like, we're not, like, we have never lost to Duke. Like, Miami got T-shirts where they had to miraculously beat Duke, and they lost to Duke last year. We, Florida State University, has never lost to fucking Duke. Most of the teams in the ACC, actually not most, every team in the ACC we have a winning record over except for one, and we split the 2 times that we played each other since we've been in the ACC. In fact, people keep y'all like it's like Roy Jones' terrible rap song. Y'all must have forgot because the last 8 years Clemson's been pretty dominant, and we haven't been on par. But if you erase the last, I ain't even gonna give you all 8 years. If you erase 2017 to 2021, Clemson has beaten us 13 times. I think we're 17-13 versus Clemson. A couple of those games we were good enough, and that was a straight up fade that Clemson gave us. I'll give Clemson last year's win, and I'll give them the 15 and the 16 wins. But 2017 to 2021, man, we were going through some things. If you erase those 4, you have literally beaten us 4 times. Oh, excuse me, not 4. What's 8? You've beaten us 9 times since we've been in this conference. We are the opening act, the headliner, and the fucking after party when it comes to the ACC. You are nothing as a conference without us. We made you relevant. In fact, like now you can go play one of my favorite, like the fucking British people play black people so much better than black people. But like, this is basically what, that man is British, the black dude, very blokish. And he got I guess technically not Baltimore. He got a West Coast accent. I understand why Idris Elba could have a British accent and play a Baltimore dude. Cause when you really think about it, they kind of talk a little British, like when you listen to it, like ghetto ass British. But this is basically what, our president McCullers came in and told and told the world the other day, as well as we could say Mike Alford said the same thing. FSU Nation basically saying this.
I built this shit. Me.
Oh, we got
brick by brick. I built this shit. Me. Brick by brick. I built this
That's
shit.
what it basically. We built this shit brick by brick. Even in the losing seasons. Do you know who's the box office boys? You know who brings the people out to the televisions? Florida State. And all we want is our cut. Mike Alford went to the ACC meetings and said, basically this stuff. But then again, I was just talking about the wire. He basically pulled the Marlowe. He said the price of a brick's going up. The only way you're going to keep us is if you do, they do a tiered revenue share. Now, the problem with the tiered revenue share is that if you're a person of any morals and any self-esteem, you will not agree to that shit. The reason why you won't agree to that shit is because that's how it starts. If you remember this situation, a lot of people don't understand that conference realignment is not a new thing. In fact, it's the ACC's fault and the NCAA's fault because this shit started when I was in college. Back in 2022 is when they first started talking about college football Pangea. They talked about this shit, and the ACC was one of the foremost people. They went in, they poached Virginia Tech and Miami. Then, in one of the most ballsy, drop your nuts, bitch, we the biggest man. We got the biggest dick in the NCAA moves. When the Big Ten came and snatched Maryland from us, we went and destroyed an entire fucking conference. We took all the quality teams from the Big East. We took Louisville, we took Syracuse, we took Pitt, and we said, man, y'all come on over here. And we gang banged. We set trip on them. We told them, come on over. If y'all think the war is better over here, we getting money over here. You would think a conference that was so innovative and on the forefront would continue to do that thing, but they got fucking lazy. And they got lazy, and then what happened was you had Florida State during their dynasty years that you could have continued to be made. It was maybe toward the end of a dynasty, but still peak marketing. You had Miami before everything kind of just went downhill. You have Virginia Tech, which Frank Beamer's still high. You had all the reasons, like at that point, to go negotiate a better TV deal. But you didn't because you couldn't see the future. The SEC did. The Big Ten followed suit. The Big 12 did. Then during that time was the first signs of Florida State wanting a divorce. Texas flexed on the Big 12 and said, we out of this bitch. Unless you give us our own network. They gave them the Longhorn Network. That satiated that appetite for a little bit, but then the Big 12 network in general folded, so there was nothing for Texas to have. Now Texas and Oklahoma are both leaving to go to the SEC. FSU during that same time started shaking up the apple cart, and that's when the promises of the ACC network with ESPN and a lot of other people made some promises that didn't come to fruition right away. They dropped the ACC network, I believe, 4 years later for it to be abysmal. The rollout sucked. Imagine having a conference network and you can't see it in the cities and the areas in which the conference is fucking played. Comcast didn't pick it up at first, meaning we had the ACC, like there was no way you could watch a Florida State game on the ACC network. Because Comcast literally owns most of the United States. So that means your TV deal was shitty because it couldn't even get in there because you couldn't get the marketing that you wanted. You had to buy YouTube TV at first. Or you had to have what's the Central Florida's TV network? I can't even think of the name of it right now. It used to be Bright House. It's called something else now. You couldn't get it unless you had satellite, unless you had DirecTV had it. A lot of these other things had it, but it was just a shitty overall deal. Then to watch your rival just benefit, and then not just your rival, to watch fucking Vanderbilt benefit. Vanderbilt doesn't give a fuck about football, but they're getting this bread, and you're sitting here and you're having to entertain fucking Duke saying that they deserve the same piece of pie as you. When you bring in all the bitches. I mean, that's really what this is, guys. It's like, imagine you're bringing in all the money, right? And then they tell you that you got to split it all evenly. I mean, you know what this is? I know this is good. This is going to be controversial. This is the WNBA and the NBA argument all day. Florida State is the NBA. And granted, the WNBA goes out there, they do their thug dizzle and they try, but they don't bring in the same amount of fucking money as the NBA. But they're yelling that they should get paid the same as the NBA. Yes, Duke, Wake Forest, Virginia, whoever you are the WNBA of the ACC. And you're screaming that you should get paid the same when there's really only one school. And I may give Miami because they talk so much shit that people are always interested in seeing them. But if it ain't Clemson, the rest of you motherfuckers can go eat a dick. And so now because we had a bad 4 years, really 5, they're like, we haven't won. And Florida State is used as the guys because we haven't won a national championship in 10 years. This year is 10 years. Now you want to go out and say, oh, well, win a championship, win a conference. How many fucking schools in the last 30 years in the ACC have won a fucking national championship besides us, Clemson? Miami won one, but they weren't in the conference then. It's only one school that gets to use that against us. There's only one school that has won more national championships in the last 30 years than Florida State, and that's Alabama. Like, people confuse this shit, man. Like, who were you before us? Like, and it's just diabolical because what's fucked up about the world in general, right, is that nobody's coming at anybody else the exact same way for leaving. Did Texas and Oklahoma get all this hate? No, they're like, oh, well, that's just the greatest fiscal decision. When's the last time Texas won a natty in 2005? Before that, when was the last time Texas won one? Vince Young, yes. Oklahoma ain't won a natty since they beat us in 2000, the 2000 season. And then they played in one against Florida and got their asses destroyed. But is anybody saying, well, you should win the Big 12? My bad. I mean, no. My bad. They got close to one. They got some. Oklahoma's been better than Texas, but nobody's been more mid than Texas in the last 20 years. But you didn't say, oh, well, they should just focus on winning the Big 12 before you go to the SEC. Nah, when they left, you said good. When Texas A&M and Missouri left, Texas A&M, who hasn't won a championship since Technicolor, was the new technology. Texas A&M, who hasn't won a national championship since the last Great War. If you know history, you know that's what they used to call. That's what they first called wars, the Great Wars. Yeah. Okay. Missouri, whose biggest claim to fame is having a homosexual defensive end that was All-American. Which the funny thing is that that was when he got to the SEC. He couldn't make All-American in the Big 12, but went to the SEC and was just sacking everybody. I never let Florida fans forget that they gave up 3 sacks that game to that young man. He was all up in whatchamacallit's ass, no homo. Nobody said anything bad. There weren't any bad articles. There weren't any just go win games. Worry about winning your conference first. How dare you try to leave? It's because the SEC, because ESPN didn't tell you to do that. So ESPN told you it was great. That's what most of y'all mindset is. When Maryland left, nobody said, man, tell Ralph Friedgen's fat ass to win some fucking games in the ACC before he leaves. Nobody said that shit. They said that was a good move for them. UCLA, USC want to lead the Pac-12. Basically, who is the Pac-12? Oh, cool. Go to the Big Ten. Nobody was writing articles about how will those LA kids play in the snow. Have they been to the Midwest? Well, there's a time zone difference. What about that? Nobody said any of that shit. You just said, that's a wise move. The Pac-12 isn't making moves. But no, Florida State wants to leave the ACC, and now everybody got to pop their gums and chalk that shit. But you know what? For every gum you pop and every shit you talk, you know what you're just basically proving? That we control the conversation. That we are that bad bitch. That we are that fucking good. Because if we weren't, if it didn't mean anything, you just would be like, whatever. Florida State is consistently voted as one of the most recognizable brands, not just nationally, but internationally. You see that helmet, you see the stickers, the tomahawks, and you know what time it is. Matter of fact, Colorado left, and the only person who said it's basically, like nobody's saying, when's the last time Florida State won anything? Do you care about Florida State leaving? No. If Colorado was good, everybody would be like, no. Oregon and Washington probably coming to the Big Ten as well, and everybody's like, yeah, well, okay, shit, gotta do what you gotta do, I guess. It's crazy. It's asinine. FSU leaves. How dare them? They're ruining college athletics. This is the problem. This guy, Les Johns, post again. It's always amazing with stats because stats can tell whatever story you want them to say, especially when they're selective. Florida State was a combined 26-33 and without a winning season in the ACC between 2017 and 2021. That is very selective right there. Like nobody uses 4-year data points for anything. I don't think the latest media right deals for the Big Ten and SEC were their biggest issue. Like 2022 didn't just fucking happen and Florida State won 10 games. Right. Oh, it was Spectrum. Thank you, Spectrum. But there was somebody who just sunned less because less, again, context means absolutely nothing to these imbeciles. One, when you say that, actually, because the way he said that basically makes it seem like, Florida State's not any good. So, why would you try to leave? No, you should want us to leave. If that's how you truly feel, you should be like, you know what? We're bringing the conference down. But here's what's wild. Take out those 5 seasons, Miles. FSU is a combined 255-73 since joining the ACC. Shit, add it. Let's go. So add 33 losses. That's 103 losses. Was it 26? So we're still 281 and 106 with those 5 bad years. You know what that's called? Fucking dominance. We didn't think about that, Les. Damn it, Les. If now you really make us feel like we should just leave. I had a good Carolina Blitz. You go follow her. She's really, really good, especially if you're a Carolina Panthers fan. And all she does, she covers everybody. UNC, especially with basketball coverage. Vashti is amazing when it comes to that. Vashti slid in my DMs, not the cool way either, but she slid in my DMs talking trash because I posted this, and this is the truth, guys. This is Florida State's record versus the ACC since joining the conference. Boston College 13-4. the Clemson stat I gave you, we're 17-13 versus Clemson with really 8, but 5 bad years. So we take away the 5 bad years, we're 17-8 versus Clemson. Duke, we don't know what it feels like to lose to Duke. Georgia Tech, we're 15-4. Louisville, we're 5-4. Miami, we're 12-7. North Carolina, which is supposed to be one of the best teams, we're 15-3. North Carolina State, 19-12. Pitt, we're 1-1. Syracuse, 10-2. Virginia, 15-4. Virginia Tech, 5-3. Wake Forest, 23-7. We're 171-62, a 73 percentage rate. 15 ACC titles since 1992. There's only been 14 other ACC titles that have been won since we joined the conference. We have over 50% of the ACC championships. That's called fucking dominance. So I posted this, and then a beautiful Vashta came in, and she said, LOL. She said, the FSU's demise is the reason why the FSU is down. And then she said, FSU, Miami, Virginia Tech, all that's historically great programs. Y'all trying to outkick your coverage. And I said, we haven't won conference since 2014, but Clemson is pretty damn good. But the numbers suggest that you're wrong. 10 wins by any marker is not bad. And it's really been, so I said 16, but it's really been 2017 because, again, Florida State was so good that we hadn't had a lose. Like, we went to 36 straight bowl games. We have 40 seasons without a losing record. Do you know who else has done that? Nobody. Not straight. You looking for that what I just read? Damn, I think I might have retweeted it. It's somewhere down there. But that's actually, even just disregard that. I can send you that, Miles, but put up the graphic that we have of that. This is the real. Who fucking cares who wins and who loses, right? That doesn't matter in the world of marketing. I tell you people this all the time. Wins matter, but at the end of the day, the bottom line matters. And the bottom line for marketing dollars is either views or does that demographic actually purchase things. I don't have the most watched podcast, but I promise you this, if we did the numbers, this is probably one of the more profitable ones in Florida State. Because y'all come to we get 1,000 people that's probably coming to a tailgate, spend $60. We get a lot of these other different things that other programs cannot say, which is what's just funny. Somebody talk to the guys of the at the mid chicken finger box place. Why are y'all trying to throw a tailgate? You know it's not going to be better than ours. Anyways, but whatever. TV viewership rankings in the ACC. Average regular season viewership from 2014 to 2022. This doesn't include the ACC network. Now, what happened between 2014 and 2022? FSU had some really, really bad seasons during that time. You know who it has the highest TV viewership? Florida State, 3.17 million. The next after that, Clemson, who has been in the college football playoff, who's won national championships during that time. They're not better. Then after that, there is a steep drop-off, and it's the University of Miami, another team that sucks, that hasn't been as good as they needed to be, but they still move the needle. Louisville, you know who comes in last? Duke. You know who comes right before them? Wake Forest. You know who comes right after them? Boston College. You know who's talking the most shit? Those three schools. The three schools that nobody watches. Wake Forest is nobody. This is how uninterested people are in Wake Forest football. That when Wake Forest is actually good, nobody cares. They were good last year, but their best quarterback, who probably could be a top draft pick from out of Wake Forest. He went to Notre Dame so that more people could actually watch his football games. And that's Sam Hartman. Yeah. Real good. All that to be said is that Florida State is all that and a dime sack. But the reality is, even this shift, whether it be the ACC coming to an unequal revenue split with Florida State eventually leaving. I'm going to give you guys a glimpse into the future. Just as I'm saying Duke, Boston College, Syracuse, Virginia, none of those guys deserve none of these guys deserve the same share as the top 3, top 2 schools. One could say that about the bottom 3, bottom 4 schools of any conference. Let's look at who's in the Big Ten football conference. Let's just go with standings. There we go. Oh, this gives me everybody. That's awesome. Let's go with Big Ten. Do you think Indiana deserves the same cut as Penn State or Ohio State or Michigan? I don't think Illinois deserves that, nor even though I think they're actually better. Now I'm looking at this. Damn. Northwestern's been pretty good. Purdue's been decent. Wisconsin. Damn, that Big Ten West is actually better than I thought. I can go five. Like those teams make, like right now, Indiana will make more money off of TV revenue than Florida State. You goddamn right, we got a problem. Let's go to SEC. Arkansas has never won the SEC conference. Do you think Arkansas deserves the same amount of money as Alabama? Arkansas will make more money from TV revenue than Florida State. I don't think they can beat us. I don't think Missouri can beat us. I don't think Vanderbilt can beat us. I don't think South Carolina can beat us, even though South Carolina has actually won a conference recently. Or they played in the conference championship. They might not have won it. What I believe will happen in the next 20 years, Alabama, Auburn, LSU, Georgia, Florida, Tennessee will gather together with USC, UCLA, Oregon, potentially Washington. Will all come together with Florida State, Clemson, Miami, Texas, Oklahoma, Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State, Nebraska, and maybe a few others. Notre Dame. They'll maybe pick a Louisville every now and then. So the guys who can really pay. And we'll have 50 programs that will all just say we need to separate from the NCAA because the NCAA is fucking obsolete. It makes absolutely no sense to continue to go down this. And the crazy part is that they'll say conferences don't matter. We'll make our own thing and we'll negotiate directly with the TV, with the TV companies, the media conglomerates. And you know how that formula works? That's basically what the NBA, the NFL, and everybody else does. For ACC, the guy who is currently, I believe, in the Big Ten now. Oh no, he's with the NCAA. He's with the NCAA. It's just a shitty deal. Shitty deal. And then they created the GOR and the exit fees because of Maryland, because Maryland left before the fees were really, really high. Maryland had division. Again, it's nothing personal. It's just business. But they're making this shit really personal. But the reality is, I don't know why. You're just not better than us. Statistically proven, like in every aspect, you're not better than us in anything in life. Sometimes you gotta just cut bait and know where and know when to hold them, when to fold them. That being said, I've been trying to find this videotape of Gilbert Arenas. And if I could find it, he is hilarious. Have you listened? He is really one of my favorite. Like when I get to his level of money, I'm going to that's what I want to do. Like Gilbert talks about basketball, then he talks about life and real life situations because he's lived real life situations.
That's why with the John Moran, I'm like, has everybody forgotten Gilbert Arenas? It was so much worse.
Way worse. Gilbert Arenas literally brought a gun to shoot somebody because of gambling. Gilbert Arenas just hung out with his hood rat friends. Like, that's it. Like, I mean, it's really not. Meanwhile, you got motherfuckers like Steven Jackson going around talking about this motherfucker's so confused. He's mad that the NBA didn't make him the face of like doing like the civil rights shit that was going on. But he's around here claiming he's been a blood for like 30 years. I mean, get the fuck out of here, man. Hold on. I think my boy Dibby might have sent it to me. But Gilbert been like, again, he's one of the guys that women hate because they'll never be able to like really date him, but he can date whoever he wants to because he's everything that the women say that they want. He's also everything that a man, like, I can't find the video, but the video was this. It was him, a chick, and then some other guy who I don't know who he is. That guy made $50 million playing basketball. God bless him. Gilbert Arenas made $170 million on the basketball court. The girl said, they were talking about championships. And she said, would you trade $50 million? Would you have been cool making $120 million, but you would have won rings? And Gilbert Arenas said one of the realest things that I think normal people care more about championships than the guys who are actually playing. I would much rather make $170 million and have no rings than have $120 million and have a ring or two. He's like, don't nobody know. The only people who know who Rob Horry is are really good sports fans. Robert Horry has 7 championships. He has more championships than Jordan, but you would never consider him the GOAT. He was on 7 championship teams. Just like John Sally was on numerous championship teams. At no point were either one of those guys considered the best basketball player in the world. I'm sorry. Give me the fucking check all day. Do you know what 170, like one of my bank accounts, and for people who need to know how to do some of this stuff, I could definitely help you with that. Because right now is the time. It's not going to be like this forever, but they got, these bank accounts that can get you they're high yield savings accounts. You can get, mine has 4.9% right now. That's a lot. $170 million at 4.9%. You know what that gets you? All he has to do, he doesn't have to do anything. $8.3 million a year is what he would get just to have his money sit in a bank account. God forbid he got some life insurance policies or some other shit where he could pull that shit out tax-free. But I love that point because it was a real point that nobody else makes, that people who have never went through camp, people who have never done these different things will tell you, like, championships is all that matters. No, bitch, living your best life is all that matters. Like at the end of the day, in 30 years, nobody's going, like, I promise you, like right now, my son will not know, my son will more than likely not consider Michael Jordan the best basketball player. He will consider LeBron James because he's being marketed to believe that LeBron James is the best basketball player. I personally agree with him, but I also understand why people think Jordan is the greatest, because I also think Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is the best. When Michael Jordan was coming up, people argued that he couldn't be the greatest because of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And like, is Walt Frazier not any good? It's like a lot of these guys, like a lot of guys who were just really, really good back in the day, all of a sudden they suck. No, the greatest is relative. Bank accounts, hard numbers isn't. Ooh, man. Man, it's gonna be man, yeah, that'd be wild. That would be wild. But this is the other stuff that I like, because that's why I feel like I would tell people like, hey, like my joke right now is when people ask me, do I miss it? Or why did I give it up? We give up football. The money wasn't good enough. And don't get me wrong, the money was good, but it just wasn't good enough to go through all of the stuff that I was going through at that time, being on the bottom of a roster. That being said, there's rookies who are making almost $900,000 right now. If you would have told me that I was going to make $900,000, I'd have stayed my ass right in that motherfucker and got through and got through some things. But Gilbert made this. Gilbert's talked about 50-50 relationships and why you got to do it. Like just like my man TK Kirkland. But Gilbert said this, and then I saw some old heads try to get right. And I get it. If you're a Christian, I can understand not liking this, and I respect that. But if you're just a regular everyday person, or you're one of those Christians that break every rule except for a couple of them, and you just go to church, your opinion really doesn't fucking matter here. But Gilbert said, I'm not married because buying vaginas is cheaper nowadays. Women out here want to eat like 3 times a day. They want to go to all these expensive ass places. There's a lot of things that come with it when I can pay $200 to $250 and get right to the good stuff. This is what a rich man is saying. So all you poor dudes who are getting on these podcasts that don't have anywhere near this kind of money, this is the efficiency part. Puffy can pay Young Miami to be his muse or his concubine because the bitch is worth $1 billion. You make $50,000 a year, sir. You don't need to buy her no Birkin. If anything, I one of the funniest things, I told my mom my uncle is broke because he buy pussy. He doesn't have no kids, doesn't pay no bills, doesn't have nothing. He even went and got a job. This man worked actually a decent job. Never worked in a warehouse before. They asked him to start helping take care of my grandmother. That motherfucker went and got a job. Love Uncle George to death, but Uncle George, you ain't shit sometimes. But Uncle George always talks about how broke he is. And I told Mom, I said, and then when he left, I said, Mom, listen, when we went to Uncle Harry's funeral, I said, Mom, I know why he's broke. She's like, why do you think he's broke? I said, Mom, he's buying pussy. She's like, it's the only thing that can make a nigga go broke. Now, he probably can't afford the $200, $250 a pop pussy. That's some good pussy. That's some high-end stuff. But when you make $170 million, you being a little cheap, Gilbert, you could probably afford a little bit more than that to pay better for that. But when you think about it, like, why do I have to pay for you to go on a trip? You're a smart, independent woman. Why can't you do it on your own? And this is the time, and I'm saying this because this is the time of the month that women always start talking about 50-50. If you notice, a lot of these Twitter or X, whatever it's called, trends really start to happen certain times. So like the 25th to the 5th is really when the 50-50 debates heat up because the broke bitches can't pay their bills. And they're mad and they're trying to figure this shit out. But Gilbert is one of those guys who has a platform. He's standing up for men's rights. He's like, yes, I can pay it, but bitch, I am not paying it. And then somebody put, well, that's why he has, he's paying his baby mama a whole bunch of money for child support. I said, 1, he's taking care of his child. That's what that means. And 2, if you got $170 million in the bank at 4.9% interest, that means you make $8.3 million a year. Even if he doesn't make even if he saved $100 million and he blew 70, right? He still got a bunch of money in the bank account. And that money, trust me, that money is more than enough to be able to pay the child support and pay for pussy. He's good. Whew, man, I tell you what. Right. Which I told people this. Man, like, and what's wild about babies, man. This is what's wild about babies. Women are literally laying on a bed to give birth for guys that they don't know. You don't know his middle name. Like, you're not dying for that. You're not dying for that baby. You don't know that baby. That baby's not here yet. You are dying to replicate that guy. Like, do you understand how crazy you are to bring another being onto this planet and you don't know who the dad is? You don't know what their bloodline has. It could be weak. You don't know, they could be cross-eyed as a strong trait. They could have all kinds of stuff. Like, I just think people make these rash decisions for babies too quick. Plus, forget that. I think, hear me out. I know this is like eugenics stuff. Like, I don't believe in that, but like, I also don't think you should be having babies if you're like not very smart and you're broke. Like, if you can't take care of you, you don't need to be bringing another individual onto this planet. Like, you don't get bonus points for doing what you're supposed to do as an adult. Congratulations, you can pay your bills. So the fuck what? The rest of us can too. We got to stop rewarding people for doing things that are not exceptional. Now, if you've been with somebody and you were married and then y'all got a divorce, that's a completely different situation. I think those are admirable things, but man, there are a lot. Like right now, you got bitches on internet. That one bitch who said she wouldn't date a bus driver or some shit like that. She out here encouraging women to go to sperm clinics and just be single mothers by themselves. I guess being a single mother by choice is a mental illness. Like, on God, I don't give a fuck how rich you are, what you have. Literally going down that path is a mental illness. But again, as I just talked, Gilbert Arenas, love him, got his money. When you get, that's called having fuck you money. But who has fuck you money so much? Jim Irsay. And we just talked about Jim Irsay as he's basically saying, this is how much fuck you money he has. He owns people. Let's be clear. NFL owners own people. That's what they do. Not just NFL, any professional sports team, you buy and trade humans as commodities. But it's not enough for him to own people, right? He is seeing the trend of the killer whales are against us. And you know what he's trying to do? This man is trying to get back into good graces because he doesn't want his yacht fucked with. So Jim Irsay says running back lives don't matter, but animal rights lives matter more than running backs. This man won't pay his running back a living wage for the NFL, but he will pay $20 million to transport a killer whale from the U.S. in a small enclosure in Miami, where it's been for 53 years to her original home in the Pacific Ocean. The 8,000-pound orca named Lolita is going to be on a 15-acre, I didn't even know you can acre water, but whatever, netted area in the Puget Sound off Washington State where her pod still lives. This is what people are talking about. Like, imagine spending you could spend $20 million on trying to eradicate homelessness in Indianapolis. You don't give a fuck about people, but you give a fuck about orcas. And we also know what he's doing. He is known to play with his nose. This man took a good snort and said, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to free Willie. It's just wild. Like, I can't knock you. You spend your money on what you want to spend it on, bro. But this shit is wild. You're not $20 million to help save the orca's life. Like, the orca was in no danger. The orca just want to go home. He doesn't even know if the orca want to go home. Has anybody talked to the orca? 53 years? This sounds like when Abraham Lincoln had a meeting with some of the free black men about what to do with Africans after the war. And he said, you know what? We're going to just send your asses back to Africa. Bitch, we don't know what's over there. America's our home. When they say go back to Africa, go back. Why don't you just go back to Africa? Yeah, man, I'm just going to get on the land and just walk and go see Mfufu. Like, the orca just going to go over there. They're going to whoop that orca's ass when they go over there. It's like the time I was about to tell you a story. So your sister wanted to go to my old neighborhood. Now, this was like, I ain't ever go. I learned my lesson. I ain't going back without Irk or somebody else there. Man, we went to that neighborhood. Nobody knew who I was. I hadn't been there in a while. Man, I thought we was gonna get robbed. Them kids descended on that car. I rolled the window down. I seen I was like, Irk, somebody just started yelling at Jerome. Like, Swah, somebody. And then I said, hey, he said, James, bring your big head ass on over here, man. Y'all boys leave that man alone. I was like, oh my God. Thank God. Thought these little ninjas was gonna rob me. Listen, man, I'm with you, white people. Y'all get a little nervous about being in the hood. Bitch, I'm nervous too, but I still gotta go every now and then. You gotta show your face. But that's what's gonna happen to Lolita, the killer whale. You're gonna send her back. She's going to a hood that nobody recognizes her. Things have changed. It's like putting somebody, like, it's just like she's grown up in the warm weather of Miami, and now you're gonna send her to Washington State where it rains and it's cold. She may die just off of the water change. Haven't you seen what happens if you don't have the water temperature the exact way that fish need it in your tank? Imagine spending $20 million for a whale to die.
Is this a bit? Does he just like, I'm the kooky billionaire? Remember me? I'm like the guy from Knives Out, the movie. Like, is he playing a role?
The amount of fucks not given is immaculate. Tim Irsay, man, salute you, sir. Salute to you. And lastly, I'll end you guys because this is a sports show. We talk about sports topics and every different things. And one of my sports right now is like, I've noticed that my Pilgrim compadres, now they're coming back in football. But when we dominate stuff, they start creating new sports. And we saw the slap sport. But now they got black guys in there who the one guy would have had to get shot when he got slapped and he was just growling at the motherfucker like, I'm sorry, I give you my best shot and you start growling at me, I'm gonna hug you. That's the only thing I got left. You won. You win, bro. You win, bro. Matter of fact, I'm gonna be Johnny Ringo to it's not Doc, it's Doc Holliday. Yeah, to Doc Holliday in Tombstone. And I'm just gonna be like, I was just fooling. Like, but if you go and you click on the last link, Miles, I could get into this sport. This and then the basketball league that's playing in thongs up in Atlanta, I would watch this because them girls is chunky. But like, this is a sport that I think could go in pay-per-view a little bit more, and I think people would do good. I don't know what the object is and how you win this, but like, it's just bam right there, just. Like, yeah. I don't know. Do you like tap out? Is that like, oh, she's like ready to, you get a running start into it? Oh, no, that wasn't that good. Yeah, it's no way. You don't get the amount of momentum that you think you need. You got to come up. You can throw your hip in there when you come from up under the cheek and lift up. Like, I would love to be a commentator in this. Yeah, you got to. They should make them have really manicured nails. I don't think you should be able to. Why is she standing like that? Right. So like, women will make the like. I don't know what to do. It's a confusing time to be a man. Am I supporting women's rights when I watch this, or am I being misogynist?
Hi, Roxana. Splash that.
I was doing that the other day, man. I was geeked. Like, this gives you a whole nother thing. Even though I do love the fact when I forgot who it was. Was it Patrice O'Neal? Somebody said gospel music and R&B are the exact same thing, except for in gospel music they're all singing to the same dude. Like, like, just take your favorite R&B song and flip it and just make it about God. Don't say anything. If you're holy, let's do it. Ride it, Christ pony. I saw you walking down to the altar. Like when I think of songs, like actually, like the song "Liquor" by Chris Brown really does sound like a church song. There's something in this liquor. Oh yeah, the air is. I can really see. Can't help but to stare at you. Ooh. Like I can see a car. And then what's another one that there's another one that I was just thinking about. Oh, Genuine in those jeans. Like that definitely has to be a Negro spiritual in a few years. But anyways, man, appreciate y'all coming. Hope you have a great weekend. See you guys on Monday. Make sure you like this. If you haven't, leave a comment. If you get a chance on the weekend, go back, leave another comment. It helps the algorithm. Share this with a friend. The goal is we're 750 away from hitting that 3,000 mark, where we're going to give somebody $300. Perfect time for back to school. If you think about it, just tell your friends we need some back to school shopping. So I need y'all to go subscribe to this channel. And each time we hit that 1,000 mark, we give away basically 10% of what we have accrued during that time. We'll also give away tickets. Make sure you check me out on Sporadics Monday through Thursday, Monday and Thursday. Check those out. Other than that, man, the book bag drive, last one this weekend. See you guys later. Thank y'all for chopping it up with me.